So three things that people do to the WordPress website that they think is good, but it's actually harming their site. That's what we're going to talk about right now. So before we talk about the number one thing that you can do to speed up your site, I want to first talk about the other two. One of those are heavy themes. If you have a pre-made theme, chances are it has a lot of bells and whistles. And with those bells and whistles, that slows down your page speed. For every single page you have, it has to load up all those scripts that it has. Plugins are also the same thing, and that's number two on the list. With plugins are essentially the bells and whistles. They're not packaged along with your theme, but you can go ahead and download them separately. If you have too much of them, that itself is going to slow it down because they're going to be loaded on the front end of your website for every single page, even though they're just sitting there doing nothing for you. So with that being said, let's go ahead and let's solve that problem. Alright, I'm right here under WordPress dashboard, and to solve our theme and plugin issue that's slowing our site down, we're going to go and actually install another plugin that will help us out a lot on this. So we're going to go here and we're going to enter asset cleanup, enter, and it will be this first listing right here. So we're just going to go ahead and install and activate that after it's done. And what this is going to do, this will allow us to stop it from loading scripts that it doesn't need to load. So once we have that activated, we're going to go to one of our pages, and we're just going to click on privacy policy right now, but you would probably want to click on your home page first, since that is the most important thing. And once you scroll all the way to the bottom, you will find this listing called Asset Cleanup. So you scroll down. I don't have any plugins installed because this is a vanilla install of WordPress, but chances are there'll be a lot of stuff in here. And I'm just going to scroll down to where I start seeing stuff. So now I'm under my themes, and I have two scripts. One is print.css, and so you can decide whether that's important or not. And most of the times you won't really know. The only way you can really figure it out is just to unload it and update your site and see if something went wrong. And if you don't feel comfortable doing this on your live site, you can take it and host it locally, mess around with it in there, and then you can import it back here once you got it to where you want it to be. And I will show you how you can do that in a later video. Alright, so let's say it doesn't look imported, so we're just going to leave that off. Now we're going to scroll to the second one, and this is where we see style.css. So whenever you see style.css anything, you don't want to unload it on that page. Chances are it's pretty important, especially if it's under your themes folder. You don't want to have that unloaded. Alright, so this will be usually a more involved process, but I don't have anything installed, and I have the default theme, which is pretty light. So that will go ahead and solve your theme and plugin problems for this. Now we're going to move on to the last thing and the most important thing that slows down your site, and that's images. So very often I go on people's site and I notice that they have these really large images, but in actuality when they put it into the website, it's only a fraction of a size. And I made that mistake right here on purpose in our first post, hello world. So I uploaded this image of a dog, and it's really high resolution image, but when we look at the website, I only have it at a fraction of the size. If we go here to our media folder, we can actually see the image of our dog. It's 19 by 20. It's 1920 by 1440, which is pretty large, because once we go here, and this is a little trick to see the resolution that's being displayed on your site, is to right click on your image and click on inspect. You go ahead and do that. You have this whole navigation thing pop up to the right, and you just hover over the highlighted area, and on the image side to the left, we see that it's 512 by 384 pixels. Now that's really a big difference from what I uploaded. And the thing is, is that it's not uploading a 512 pixel image. It's uploading the whole entire image that I gave it, which was 1920 by 1440 pixel. So we can solve that problem right now. This will greatly reduce the load time of your website because images make up a very significant portion of that. So let's go ahead and let's open up a new tab. And let's go here and let's type in crop image, enter the Google search, and there's this website called befunky.com. We're going to go ahead and click that, and we're just going to go ahead and say get started so we can get into the app. And once that loads, let's go continue editing. And I was working on it later, but let's start all over. So I have my file. Let's put in Animal Boy. Yes. And now we have our full entire image, and we're just gonna go here into the resize tool, click on that, and let's go back to where we had this, and we see that it's 512. So let's go here and let's type in 512, enter, and it'll automatically scale it down to that size. We'll hit apply and we're done. Let's go ahead and save it to the computer, and we'll click save again. Now we have that in here. Awesome. So we can go back onto our website, and we're just going to go ahead and delete this image. Okay. And we're going to add this new image that is only the size and resolution that we need it to be. And then let's go back to our pages, to our posts, and let's update it with that picture now. So let's go ahead and delete that, and let's go ahead and insert a picture right over here. Let's go to our media library and let's select our dog. Select. Awesome. We'll click update, and now it's done. And so we see the same results, but in actuality, we're not loading the full resolution. We're only loading the resolution that we need from it, which is awesome and amazing. But that is not all what we can do. We can actually go further and improve our image performance. And let's go back into our admin section. Let's close that down. And we can go and install another plugin called WordPress Smush. So let's go here, type in Smush, and you find it right here, install now. And what this plugin does is that it would actually automatically compress the image for you without affecting the quality of your image. And it will do something pretty cool, which we'll talk about in the setup process. So now that we've activated it, there's a new tab here called Smush. We're going to go ahead and click that. And it should set up a wizard, but I already went through this, so it doesn't set that up. But there's a section called lazy loading right here. And this is a really cool feature that it would allow you to lazy load your images, which what that means is it won't load all the images of your site immediately. It would only load the images that the user sees on first page load. And once they scroll down on your site, it loads images appropriate to what they're seeing. So that way you get a really fast response of a page load, and then it would handle all the image loading later once they actually scroll down to your website to even view those. So you can go ahead and I'll check all of these. Scroll all the way down and you can click Save Changes on there. And you can go over here and you can bulk smush now. And what this would do is that this would compress all of your images and will help save space. So I just saved only 2.5 kilobytes because my image was pretty optimized to begin with. And if you do want to have more space savings than this, you can go and you can upgrade to the Pro features, and you can double the amount of image size that you can take off of there. All right. And so those are the tools that I recommend that you use, and you can dramatically increase the speed of your website.